Hello and a very warm welcome. Thanks for tuning in to your favorite news destination. You're watching In Your Interest with me, Kabina, a show that's by you and in your interest. On the show tonight, the dog fight over Delhi's stray population just got fiercer and the crackdown now reaches beyond the streets. The streets of Delhi are not just echoing with barks, but with now questions as well. Questions about justice, questions about compassion. On the 11th of August, that's just yesterday, hours after the Supreme Court order, protests erupted near the India Gate in the national capital. Animal rights activists, rescuers alike, the caregivers, they were detained. FIRs were filed against them today. And their crime, you may ask, raising their voice against the Supreme Court's order, an order that says all stray dogs must be removed from the streets and moved to the shelters. Now, Delhi's mayor, he promises action in the next 2 days. He says sick and aggressive dogs are going to be picked up first. The Supreme Court says dispose of leftover food in covered dustbins, build shelters, ensure public safety. Sounds really good on paper. But then again, here's the problem. Logical feasibility has become questionable. Infrastructure is insufficient, laws are contradictory because the existing rules prohibit relocating strays and instead support the trap, neuter, vaccinate, return programs, something that's followed across the globe as well. The human concerns are real because removing dogs from their familiar streets can of course cause distress, it can cause aggression, even trauma. And let's not forget that mass sheltering will drain resources away from rabies prevention programs that actually end up saving lives. So, is there an alternative, you may ask? Yes, there is. Strengthen existing trap, neuter, vaccinate, return programs, manage strays at the community level, vaccinate every dog possible, use shelters only for the sick and the aggressive. But the supporters of the Supreme Court order are unmoved. They want dedicated task forces to capture these strays. They want bigger shelters, a no-release policy and CCTVs to make sure that no dog is put back onto the streets after sterilization and vaccination. They want swift helplines for faster response rate, stockpiles of rabies vaccines and total compliance of the SC order. We've got some reactions before I introduce my panelists to you. Listen in.
म्युनिसिपल कॉर्पोरेशन के पास इस समय हमारे पास 20 शेल्टर होम हैं जो ऑलरेडी काम कर रहे हैं. उसको हम और सुचारू रूप से चलाएंगे ताकि जो डॉग्स जो वहां पर ज्यादा से ज्यादा एडजस्ट कर सके. और हम इस पे फेज वाइज काम करेंगे. पहले फेज के अंदर केवल वो डॉग्स हम लेंगे जो काट रहे हैं या जो बीमार हैं, रेबीज के शिकार हैं. ऐसे डॉग्स का हम RW के थ्रू जनता के माध्यम से इन डॉग्स पे हम काम करेंगे.
In the last 3 hours, we have received over 3.5 lakh emails from people in Delhi saying, "Hum to ladenge." Are we going to have fighting in this peaceful, beautiful city? So this is not implementable. See, it will cost the government over 15,000 crores to even make the shelters. Or फिर अगर कभी जगह मिले, that is if they find a place to construct the shelters, it will cost them 5 crores a week just in feeding. They will have to employ 1.5 lakh more people to look after them. फायदा क्या है?
We all want to understand that if you have a removal which also ensures a shelter taking place for our stray animals, then it's something that should be welcomed. And you are trying to question the entire process of shelters, sterilization, vaccination and community care, which is also to ensure public safety without cruelty. So if you understand the concept, only then should you opine, Mr. Rahul Gandhi, because this is eventually a judgment of the Honorable Supreme Court.
आज हम फेलियर सबसे ज्यादा दिल्ली म्युनिसिपल कॉर्पोरेशन का रहा है. उनको सही टाइम पे न्यूटर कर दें, उनके लिए जगह बनाएं, व्यवस्था बनाएं. आज आपने सारा का सारा दोष स्ट्रे डॉग्स पे मर दिया है. ठीक है, उनकी भी लोगों की भी घटनाएं ऐसी सामने आई हैं जहां पे उनको काटा गया है. पर आज परिस्थिति इस हाल पे क्यों पहुंची? क्योंकि एक नाकाम म्युनिसिपल कॉर्पोरेशन और एक नाकाम देश की संस्था जिन्होंने उनको इस पे मजबूर कर दिया है, वो नहीं चाहते हैं कि रास्तों पे रहें. उनकी अगर सही टाइम पे न्यूट्रिंग हो, उनके लिए सही व्यवस्था हो, तो शायद आप रास्ते में नहीं पाए जाएं.
Well, so political reactions coming across as well. Shaina NC replying back to Rahul Gandhi, who says the SC's directive to remove all stray dogs from Delhi NCR is a step back from decades of human science-backed policy. And that does bring us to the question of the day. Will Delhi's iron-handed crackdown, visuals that we've seen, yield genuine rehabilitation for all the stray dogs, or will these actions, this iron-handedness, the FIRs that have now been clamped on these animal activists, and detentions, will this simply create more chaos and suffering for animals and the communities alike? Joining us here on the broadcast is Nitin Tyagi, spokesperson, BJP, Sanjeev Kumar, Senior Vice President, DDRWA, Gautam Budh Nagar. Very warm welcome to you. Gauri Molekhi, animal activist. We've been reading about your tweets all across the social media as well. And Anirudh Ravindra, a great chat we had yesterday as well, who's an animal activist and co-founder at Pran Animal Foundation. Nitin Tyagi, let me start with you. Let's get the ball rolling here. The Delhi government and the mayor, they've given their reactions as well. Now, Delhi has about 10 lakh stray dogs. That number, still out there. We need to understand how many actual dogs on the ground. But only 1,000 shelters and shelter spaces that are available. The mayor also says that we're going to continue to bring up more infrastructure. As of now, we don't have as many dog shelters. How will the BJP Delhi government now ensure that there is humane implementation without chaos on the streets? Just one day after that SC order, we've seen what happened at India Gate as well.
Definitely. See, recently you must have seen a lot of things. During the preparation of 15th August, flag hoisting ceremony at the Red Fort, around 600-700 stray dogs were found near the Red Fort also, which is obviously a security hazard also. But let me come back to what has happened recently. Supreme Court has given a guideline and they have given an order. And Delhi government, the Municipal Corporation of Delhi and the centre, they are all going to comply with it. And with hand in hand, we are going to find more places and how to go about it. It is too early, but let's not be very skeptical about it. It would be a very humanely approach, and everybody, every stakeholder in this, even the animal rights activists and everything, they should also participate in a positive manner. It's not we against anybody. It's not like that. We all should come forward and we should take care of everybody. And see, you must have heard the mayor. He's talking about the rabid dogs and the aggressive ones on the street, which about whom the people have been complaining about since a long time. So they are in focus right now, and ultimately we have to have shelter spaces where the dogs can be rehabilitated or relocated. Right. Healthy dogs, we should have a healthy space for the dogs. We should look after them. We cannot be barbaric about it, and we are not going to be. We are going to take care of the dogs and be positive about it. Take it positive.
Okay. Well, you know what? It is interesting because just a day after the Supreme Court order, Mr. Tyagi, we're getting visuals from Bengaluru today where, a group of dogs were beaten up black and blue. And on the same day, 2 college-going students got bitten by stray dogs in a university campus in Bengaluru. So, different stands, and which is why the community is so opinionated and so divided at this point in time. Gauri Molekhi, let me come to you next. Let's understand, you've called the SC order impractical. We've been reading some of those, Twitter posts as well. But with 37 lakh dog bites just last year, some more data that we're going to constantly flash on our screens, what is your understanding of a workable, of an immediate solution to protect our people? Just like Mr. Tyagi says, they're going to make sure that it is carried out in the most humane way possible. We've got to give the government a shot also, isn't it?
Yeah, sure. In fact, the central government has always attempted to resolve the issue humanely, which is why the 2023 animal birth control rules were promulgated. Now, at this time, the implementation of the rules is of primary importance. That's what we feel. And this order, though, is completely unimplementable. You cannot put 10 lakh dogs in any shelter-like situation because there isn't any shelter-like situation existing in Delhi. You rightly pointed out there are about 1,000 dogs that can be accommodated in the ABC centers. But if you create these concentration camps, these ghettos, you would only be aggravating. The court, in its wisdom, is trying to solve a problem, but will create a bigger problem for the people of Delhi, because when you confine animals in such places, you only amplify the pathogen load. The diseases spread like wildfire and they become absolutely uncontrollable. For kilometers around these pounds, nobody will be able to live. Has the court even thought of the consequences of such a biohazard that they are trying to create? Removing an important component from the ecosystem has its consequences. Probably the monkeys will overrun the city, because currently a lot of places the monkeys keep away from because the dogs are there, or the cats will become too many, or the rats or the mice will come out. So the Black Death of London in the 1600s basically was spread because the mayor of London killed off 80,000 dogs and cats. And he thought that they are dirty, let's remove dogs and cats. And there were rats all over the place, and from the fleas that lived on rats, the Black Death followed, and 60% of London's population perished.
So then what needs to change here?
Problems in a scientific manner.
What needs to change here? If the ABC program has failed for the last 24 years, what needs to change now to make sterilization genuinely effective? What needs to be done here? Because the dogs on the streets also cannot continue, because we've been seeing all these cases. It's really gut-wrenching and heart-wrenching.
Correct. So the central government is actually on the right path. In 2001, when the rules were framed, the responsibility was given to local authorities to enforce them, to build ABC centers, etc., and to provide budget allocation also all by themselves. They were rarely ever given support by central government or the state government in terms of budgets. But now, recently, this is probably Mr. Tyagi would know it even better than me. In the past 2 months, since the central government has taken cognizance of this kind of conflict arising, they are planning to allocate budget to create proper animal birth control centers. If we see good models like Uttar Pradesh, how Lucknow has made India's largest animal birth control center, and with one ABC center in 4 years, they have tackled more than 70% of the dog population in Lucknow, which 20 ABC centers in 25 years in Delhi have not done. Because of bad.
So there is a model from what Delhi can learn at this point in time. That's what you're suggesting.
Absolutely.
So the Lucknow model, if one takes the Lucknow model as the right kind of precedent, why the clamor on the roads is also what we're understanding. Because today headlines are talking about crackdown on animal activists. Well, the government and the Supreme Court, they're trying to do the best for public safety. If there is a model in place over here, if Delhi actually follows the Lucknow model to the T, I mean, there could be positive offings, on the charts, and no pun intended.
So for the past 10 years, or probably even more, Municipal Corporation of Delhi has entrenched corruption. The officers in charge of anti-rabies program, which looks after animal birth control, do nothing but dandlebazi and corruption. They only bill for ABC, they don't do any ABC. The 20 ABC centers are getting built. For instance, under RTI, I've got replies that in the past 7 years, more than 7 lakh dogs have been operated in Delhi, which is not even possible. You don't see so many dogs operated. You don't have that kind of infrastructure. ABC centers with just 14-15 kennels are showing numbers, 1,500 dogs sterilized, 2,000 dogs sterilized. When we ask for, since it's a central government sponsored program, it is covered under RTI, we ask for anesthesia purchase records, they have none. Vaccine purchase records, they have none. So what is the corrupt ABC officer of Municipal Corporation of Delhi doing? Why has he never been pulled up? Probably because he's related to somebody who's of his superior.
Okay, let's bring in Sanjeev Kumar, Senior Vice President, DDRWA Gautam Budh Nagar, to help us understand how the layperson is now looking at this dog pursuit, the dog debate. What's the barking point here, Sanjeev, as far as you're concerned? Mr. Molekhi here, talking about corruption, talking about cruelty, talking about the trauma of such a major relocation.
Actually, the problem of the street dog is the biggest problem of the city. As I live in Noida, so we can say Noida authority is not working on this properly. A little bit I will convince with madam. कि actually local authority is not working properly, so this problem is become arise in a big way.
Okay.
If they work, then it's not created big problems to residents. Actually, in this case, in this scenario, being a RWA and being a federation, we welcome the decision of the Supreme Court because we are directly affected by dogs. Our residents, our children, all are directly
In residential societies, pet dogs also play a huge role. It's not only about stray dogs also here, sir.
Definitely. Actually, in Noida Authority, in Noida Authority developed this dog policy, but not implemented till now.
So the execution is shoddy, the execution is shoddy, the implementation is shoddy.
Yes.
The implementation is shoddy. That's what we're talking about. But I want to understand via you and your medium about how residents actually look at this. Because you see, all the animal activists are making and raising a serious point here about a biohazard. The burden on the taxpayer. Is the resident out there even worried about it? Or is this a case of, as long as the garbage is outside of my house, I don't really care about it?
Actually, if we see about the resident are very much happy with the decision of the Supreme Court because our senior citizens, our children are not able to go outside the houses. They are not go to the park even also. So in this scenario, local authorities, local RWAs is always welcome.
But you see, sir, that's the point we're trying to make here. It's great. Even I want the elderly to have their morning walks in peace. Everybody wants the children to play without the fear of getting mauled by dogs. But then, are you willing to shed that extra money? Who's going to take accountability, whether that money, who's going to audit the design and execution of this particular program? Where will our money essentially go? Just like Ms. Moleki is talking about, people go scot-free, you have different budget allocations and, you're marking up something else. You ask for non-vegetarian food budget, but only give vegetarian food for the dogs. And the biohazard, that's a big point. Tomorrow, if an actual bio-pandemic falls out, then no elderly, no children will be able to go out, especially near these dog shelters. So is the resident out there? It's great that you're welcoming the SC order, but are you thinking about these aspects as well? Is the local resident, bahar jo resident hai, kya wo iske baare mein thoda sa bhi soch raha hai?
मैं ये समझता हूं कि नोएडा जैसे शहर में या दिल्ली एनसीआर के अंदर में अगर इसको सही से इंप्लीमेंट किया होता तो इतनी बड़ी इशू नहीं होती बिकॉज आई लिव इन सेक्टर 51 नोएडा। मैंने ये देखा है कि हमारा जो कोलैबोरेशन रहा है डॉग लवर्स के साथ बहुत रहा है। हमने उनके साथ इंटरेक्ट करके हमारे पूरे सेक्टर 51 के जितने भी एंटायर डॉग्स थे हमने सबको स्टेरिलाइज कर दिया था। अभी हम लोग वरीड है कि अगर ये डिसीजन किस तरह से इंप्लीमेंट करते हैं। अगर जैसे ही सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने डिसीजन दिया कि विद इन 8 वीक्स यू हैव टू रिमूव ऑल द डॉग्स फ्रॉम द स्ट्रीट्स और विद इन ए मंथ और 2 मंथ और ये ईयर वो डिसाइड करते हैं नहीं ये सब इंप्लीमेंट नहीं हो पा रहा है, इनको सबको वापस उसी जगह रिलोकेट कर दो तो ये बहुत बड़ी प्रॉब्लम हो जाएगी। वी आर इन ए ट्रॉमा कि हम क्या करेंगे कि हमने कम से कम 10 एक डॉग की लाइफ जो है इज नियर अबाउट 12 to 14 years. So now from last 6 to 7 years we are working for this type of activity for this sterilization, vaccination with the help of this local NGO or local lady which work for this dog peoples. और अभी में क्या है कि अगर वो सब मिक्सअप हो जाएंगे तो हमारे लिए न्यूसेंस फिर बढ़ जाएगी। मैं 51 को एक मॉडल सेक्टर बताता हूं नोएडा में एनसीआर के अंदर में बिकॉज पिछले 6 साल से इन अवर एरिया हमारे यहाँ पे एक भी कुत्ता जो है वो नया बर्थ नहीं हुआ है।
ओके
तो ऐसा होना चाहिए था।
परफेक्ट सिचुएशन
ये इज द परफेक्ट सिचुएशन। एक्चुअली अगर सही मायने में अगर देखेंगे तो डिसीजन सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने तो बहुत मतलब उसका उनके पास और कोई ऑल्टरनेटिव था नहीं है। जब इतने सारे डेली इंसिडेंट्स हो रहे हैं हमारे इंटरनेशनल केस हो गई है तो उन्होंने जो डिसीजन जो हुआ है लोग तो खुश है पर अगर जेन्युइनली देखेंगे तो इसको इतनी जल्दी इंप्लीमेंट करना वो टफ है, बहुत टफ है। मतलब इट्स नॉट एज मच इजी जैसे डायरेक्ट डिसीजन में कहते हैं कि हटा दो तो हट जाएंगे, वो थोड़ा टफ हो जाएगा। एग्जीक्यूट करने के लिए प्लानिंग प्रॉपर प्लानिंग की रिक्वायरमेंट है। प्लानिंग मिसिंग है
क्योंकि अगर हम इसको इम्प्लीमेंट करने की कोशिश करेंगे तो हम एक इकोलॉजिकल डिजास्टर तैयार कर रहे हैं।
point.
उन जगहों के लिए भी जहां से कुत्ते हटाए जाएंगे और उन जगहों के लिए खासकर जहां ये कुत्ते ले जाए जाएंगे.
It's all boiling down back to the implementation of the entire, program and its design. Anirudh Ravindra, animal activist and co-founder, Pran Animal Foundation. Many thanks for patiently waiting and hearing out all of those comments as well. We've seen your reactions playing out on social media as well. It's been playing up on the national media as well. The Supreme Court says that animal lovers can't bring back the rabies victims. This was an obiter dicta from that hearing that took place yesterday. Now, with the crackdown that's taking place in India Gate, let's say, visuals on your screens as well, FIRs are being filed. We're talking about the chaos that will ensue as part of this pavement war between humans and these stray dogs. How do you convince the public? Because being animal activists, the onus will fall on you and your lot. How will you convince the public that compassion and safety indeed can go hand in hand? If you had a presentation to give, if you had 5 main pointers to tell the viewers out here right now that, look, this is welcome, but implementation is something that we need to take care of. Compassion and safety going hand in hand. Firstly, can it? And if it can, how?
It's very difficult. I'll tell you, it is very difficult, whatever they are trying to implement. Like one of the main point what sir said, the VP sir, the president, he said that dog issue is the main issue. Today we have women issue, women safety issue, children safety issue who are being kidnapped. And there are so many instances where these dogs have saved them. Barking at night, chasing the robbers or the kidnappers out. We have instances, we can give proof for that. Okay, just talking about one part of it and telling that this is not going to work out, I don't think it is fair. And second point, like ma'am said, it is very important. The ecological balance will go away. Rodents, we'll have hantavirus, we'll have plague, we'll have another COVID. Are we ready to shut down for another 2 years? This is going to be big because India is a huge country with population of 140 crores. Are we able to, handle such a pandemic situation tomorrow? Definitely that is going to happen. We like it or not, because like I said, it all started in Wuhan, China. It was from an animal market. So that is what we are trying to do. We are going to pound all this dog together. And what is the next action is going to happen? Diseases are going to spread. Humans are going to get affected. It is never approved and tested. And catch and kill was there in India since 1990. What happened? Nothing. The dog population increased. The municipal corporation is actually responsible for all these things. They have to implement it without corruption. But with all the corruption, you can't really do anything. Even this program is not going to be successful if there is corruption. That is for sure. If they are ready to take on that, then we will talk about the rest of the things. And this is practically impossible. Attacking on animal activists just for being the voice of voiceless, that doesn't seem fair at all, sir. That doesn't seem fair at all, and it is...
There is no attack. There's no attack that's happening. Let's make that clear. There's no attack that's happening. The Supreme Court has said punitive action for anybody who comes in the wake of this and in the way of this order, which is why FIRs are being clamped down. Now, that's something that the police also has to follow. It's been coming from the court. They also have to look at that particular order.
FIRs against a peaceful protest. We have seen the videos. We have seen the videos where they were slapped and taken. We have seen the videos where the activists were fallen down. Isn't that an attack? It definitely is an attack. Just for talking about the stray dogs, being part of India, we can't even say they are stray dogs. They are Indian dogs. We have to.
Mr. Tyagi, look at what Mr. Ravindra is talking about. He's saying that there is an attack on the animal activists. They're simply raising voice for the voiceless, our furry friends, and they're being attacked. There is a major crackdown on these activists. And at the same time, one also has to understand. The pro-dog, pro-stray dog voices are saying that the total capacity of 10 animal birth control centers is 1,000. Where will you keep the 10 lakh dogs? This is inhumane. Where is the land to keep the 6 to 8 lakh dogs? This judgment seems to lack rational thought and stems from anger. Isn't there some sort of merit in these kind of statements?
Absolutely. Let me tell you something. All these statements, all these arguments, and all these things must have happened in the Supreme Court. Right. I was not a part of this case, but I think the judges sitting over there are quite capable enough, and they have made a judgment. We are complying with it. The Delhi government is going to comply with it. The MCD is going to comply with it. The central government is going to comply with it. And to let me
no, but is spending 20,000 crore rupees, my apologies for interjecting. My apologies for interjecting.
Just a moment.
Is it impractical or practical? Spending 20,000 crore rupees for this exercise?
Who has made this budget? who has made this estimation. I think all these activists, they have, I do stand, I wholeheartedly support their feelings, but once let us start getting on with the orders of the Supreme Court, what they have asked us to do. We are trying to implement that. They should come ahead, they should all come forward and help us in doing that. Instead of creating hurdles, creating panic, creating rumors, and creating a dissent. Let us all try and work together where we come to such a situation where animals and humans can live together. Instead, why it has happened? It has happened so suddenly. Because of so many incidents happening where humans and animals are clashing. So let us all work towards that, where it can come to that kind of a
You're
level
absolutely right, sir.
where-
You're absolutely right. We all need to come together. But how do we make that happen? I mean, shouldn't the Delhi government now call for a forum, sir, where maybe the animal activists and the animal lovers can sit down across the table with the government?
Everything is going to happen. See, everything is going to happen. Everything is going to happen in this time, and it is too early to come to streets. Why are they coming already out on streets? I do not understand.
Because the
Two
Supreme
corrections.
Court order said start doing it instantly. Start doing it instantly.
They should, why are they not going into the court? They should first go to the court. They should go to a bigger bench, probably. They should go to a bigger bench instead of coming to the, these times when we have 15th August.
Is that right for a peaceful protest, sir? I mean, they can carry out their peaceful protest. We're going to slip into a quick commercial breather here. We do need to understand whether the doors of the court has been knocked or not. We've got Ms. Muleki. We also have Ravindra with us on the broadcast. We're going to ask them as to what really happens. Have they moved the petitions or some sort of pleas? For now, a quick commercial breather here. But the dogged debate continues on the other side. Don't go anywhere. Requesting my panelists to stay with me as well. एसोसिएट स्पॉन्सर डायना प्रीमियम ब्यूटी सोप, पहली झलक करे खूबसूरत।
ये वाला तो गुगली है,
वो वाला
ये वाला तो सिक्सर है।
कौन सा फ्लेवर बिजनेस बढ़ाएगा? ये खूबसूरत चिंता आप करिए। बिजनेस लोन की चिंता हम संभाल लेंगे विद कोलैटरल फ्री लोन एंड टेन्योर अप टू 7 years।
Go condoms?
It's over there.
क्या ये डिफरेंट साइजेस में आता है?
Actually, sir, size matter नहीं करता.
तो फिर क्या मैटर करता है?
The hardness
Of the condom.
of what's inside.
For the first time ever, presenting Hard Rock Gel, the hardness gel for men.
अब फ्री हर स्कोर कॉन्डम्स के 10 पैक के साथ।
मुथूट फाइनेंस गोल्ड लोन सुनहरी सोच प्रोग्राम में आप सबका बहुत बहुत स्वागत है। कुछ लोगों से बातचीत करते हैं और उनसे हम पूछते हैं कि उनका सोना जो है लॉकर में सोने के अलावा और कुछ भी कर रहा है कि नहीं। बलजीत पाजी, सत श्री अकाल।
मेरा सोना मेरी खेती नू 4 चांद लगा रहा है।
बल्ले बल्ले हो गया ये। बड़ीकर साहब कैसे का है?
मेरा सोना मेरी दुकान में स्टॉक बढ़ा रहा है।
हजारिका बाबू की खबर?
हाल खबर सर, मेरा सोना मेरे बेटे का म्यूजिक एल्बम बना रहा है।
बढ़िया बढ़िया, एकदम बढ़िया। तो अपने सोने को काम पे लगाइए। आज ही कॉल कीजिए 1-800-313-1212 पर।
चंडीगढ़, कोयम्बतूर, NCR and Bangalore, Jaipur, Ahmedabad, Raipur and Hyderabad. We've been here, we've been there. Vekas been just everywhere.
Maroga